love now to just have Benita come up and say what's on her mind. But if I were a member here of Sky Valley, I'd be voting for this lady.
Thank you, everybody. I'm so glad to see you all here, and I'm not going to speak for very long. If you've heard of me before, you know that I don't have what some people say is a southern voice, but what I tell everybody is that it's a whole lot more southern than anybody in this room. I emigrated from South Africa in 1986, and if you remember those years, it was the years of apartheid, and I was the wrong color. I didn't have a vote, and I didn't have a voice in my own country. And when I got over here, and I voted here for the first time, I decided that I was going to make up for lost time. So ever since then, I have been, as my Facebook friends know, very outspoken, and I'm always open to correction, and I've always been willing to speak my voice when I see things are wrong. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that anything is wrong in Sky Valley. What I'm saying is that the more we know, the better the decisions we can make. And I promise, because I plan to live in this community for the rest of my life, I promise you transparency to the extent allowable by law. I will make everything clear to you. I will open the books to you, and I will make sure that citizen input is an important part of what's going on in Sky Valley. There are lots of decisions, as you know, and this is why you're all here today. Lots of decisions to be made in the future, in the very near future, and many of you have many questions about that, as do I. And I know that we have a whole lot of smart people in the room in Sky Valley, and I promise you that I will ask questions about what's going on, and I will ask your counsel about what's going on. If you look at an organization called Open the Books, they advocate for opening the checkbook so you know what's going on with your money. I promise you that we will open the books. If you look at the processes going on, I promise you that you will know what's going on. The important thing for you all to know is that I am not running against the city council, and I am not running against the mayor. I am running for Sky Valley, for the city of Sky Valley, and for the citizens of Sky Valley. And I promise that whoever wins, I will work with whoever is out there. Now, I know that we have some elected officials here, and nobody in this city gets paid a penny for the work that they do on behalf of the city, in the city council, in the mayor's office. Nobody gets paid a penny. We do it because we love the city, we do it because we love where we live, and we do it because we want the right kind of growth, the right kind of environment, and the right kind of fiscal responsibility in here. I promise that I will be accessible. Everybody will have my phone number. You can see my bio. I promise that I will use the network that I have to the betterment of Sky Valley. And I promise that I will be open to all voices in Sky Valley. I am not anti-growth. I am not anti-sewer. I am not anti-anything. I want evidence. I want responsible decisions. I want an open process. And I think that we can achieve that. And I believe that everybody wants that. And I really appreciate Michael and John. I went through a Leadership Institute class that said, don't stand up there and say good things about yourself. Get somebody else who knows you to say things about you, and you get a little more credibility that way. But I will tell you that I appreciate the opportunities that this country has given me so much. I understand, for those of you concerned, I understand that this is a non-partisan race. And I am running a non-partisan race, and I will be non-partisan in the position as mayor should I win. I want to ask for your vote. I want to ask for your for you to volunteer to help me as I get the message out there. And I want to ask for my husband's forbearance as I do this. So, does anybody have any questions for me? I'm happy to answer. I'm not going into any kind of depth of anything. This is just your my opportunity to meet you and tell you that I'm a genuine Sky Valley citizen, really interested in what happens in Sky Valley, and I want the best for Sky Valley. You had a question?
Where do you live now and where are you from? Are you from Florida also?
No, I live permanently in Sky Valley. We live on Alpine Drive, and we have another place up here that we have that our kids use on Berkshire. We own 3 properties in Sky Valley. We are vested in Sky Valley. I love it, and I'm just, I want to see it thrive and prosper.
Do you play bridge?
I do not play bridge. My husband does, though.
I do.
Pouring stuff out.
I'm
Hey.
willing to farm him out. Anybody else need anything from Scott? Any other questions? Yes.
Yeah, this is a room full of wonderful, wonderful people. I know some of them, but not all of them. I know eventually it's going to come to the gritty nitty in the city
Yes.
for votes of various things.
Yes.
And I would simply ask, how many people, these wonderful people, would have a vote when it came to that? In other words,
Are
are
you
they
asking them
residents
to
of
raise their
Sky
hands?
Valley? Raise your hand. How many of us are here?
Wonderful.
Well, I'm glad to see that because, as I say, the other folks, I guess you could call influencers.
Oh, you're talking about residents or non-residents?
Voters that have a voting right in this room.
How many voters in Sky Valley in this crowd? Wow. That is amazing. I thank you all so much for being here. And I will tell you that as I said, I'm going to represent everybody in this crowd and in this city. Folks from Florida have rights here too, and they pay taxes here too. And they come home, they come back here, and they want to see the environment and the home that they left 6 months ago. And tenants as well.
Barbara, yes. I would just like to hear your opinion on a possible ombudsman or some sort of communication between the city and the summer residents or the part-time residents. In the past, we've had an ombudsman used to.
I think that's a fabulous
But they need
idea.
to know. They need to be heard.
I think that's a fabulous idea, and I can commit to doing that. And one of the things that I will do, as I said, I expect to have citizens' input in this entire process. I will create a citizens advisory board to hear, because we have so many experts in this, under this shelter right now, and in the city. And I think that we are doing ourselves a disservice if we don't engage the folks that have the expertise in the city. And I'm open to ideas like an ombudsman as well to interact with part-time residents and second homers.
And timeshare.
And timeshare, yes. We have a lot of issues going forward, and I think that we need a fiscally sound approach and a transparent approach, and one that involves all the communication that we can have between citizens and City Hall. Yes.
In your opinion, what does Sky Valley need? What's the biggest thing that this community needs?
A transparent process. That's what I'm going to say now, because everybody needs and deserves to have knowledge of the decisions that are being made, and that does not mean that the city has not been transparent. But I will say that we've been having some mixed messages out there, and I would like everything to be clear, and I'd like everything to be upfront. And I will tell you right now, for anybody who wants to know, I do not approve of that concept plan that was presented to us. I think, and I'm not going to say that should lead to downzoning, because I am a firm believer, having gone through property being taken away from us in South Africa, I am a firm believer in property rights, and which is why I was one of the leaders in the eminent domain cases in Kilo versus London that came back here to Georgia, and it resulted in protections for property owners in Georgia. So I respect private property rights, and I'm a great believer in do no harm, and that means whatever happens in here should not harm your neighbor. So that is something that, well, I guess the developer did say it was a conceptual plan, right? So we will discuss that. But I commit now that we will have a community advisory board that is going to sit with me and give input into whatever is going on in this city, within the city limits. And I said one of my visions is consistent application of our ordinances. So if you have not seen my flyer yet, thank you. One of the things about politics, of course, is that things never happen on time. So my yard signs and my flyers are still at the printer down in Atlanta. And the Secretary of State's voter list that I asked for 2 weeks ago has not arrived. But I'm asking for your vote. I'm thanking everybody who is serving at the moment. I'm running for the city. I'm not running against anybody, and I hope you all understand that. We've had some great councilors, city council folk. We have a great city hall, and we want to keep that happening. So thank you all very much for coming. As I said, my slogan is preserving Sky Valley's heart and future. So let's work for that. Thank you so much.